All right, welcome back to Trading Rolly. Let's look at Bitcoin, do a little TA technical analysis. Still maintaining above that critical 30,000, above your blue 50 simple on the daily, but below our yellow 21 EMA resistance. If you love indicators, you like charts, this is the video for you. I'm going to try and keep it quick. I know people's attention spans are not very long these days, so I say we're going to do it quick. Let's see how long it lasts. Go ahead, hit that like, leave me a comment, subscribe, tick the bell for notifications. Remember, these are my own ideas and opinions on the market, so please do your own research and trade at your own risk. Let's just take a look at the overall market real quick. Bitcoin, down 3%, Ethereum down 4%, did crack above its all-time high, but didn't have the volume to sustain any momentum to the upside. But guys, Uniswap on a tear, up 10%, 78% in the last 7 days. Aave also doing great. These two DeFi plays have been moving up 13 and 14 on the cryptocurrency chart. So look out for those. And it's good to see, as Bitcoin consolidates, we have seen some of those altcoins get a turn to run higher. The crypto fear and greed index, we're still in the extreme greed at a 78, but we're not in that 90 territory that we were at before. So I believe, I'm bullish. Most people are bullish. I think we agree we're in a bull cycle for Bitcoin. So it's not crazy to be at this level, and we still have room to go to the upside as far as the fear and greed index. According to blockchaincenter.net, are we in altcoin season? No, not yet. According to them, if 75% of the top 50 coins perform better than Bitcoin over the last 90 days or their season, it would be an altcoin season. Currently, out of 55, we have been rising. You can see it up here. So once you're above 75 is their definition of an altcoin season. The one that everyone knows is from the end of 2017, January 2018, and you can see you went way higher here. So I had to zoom out to look at the past few years. So there's still plenty of room to go here. And that's why, I'm still holding most of my altcoins. I'm not, jumping ship on those yet. Bitcoin, I trust for the long term. Ethereum, I trust for the long term. Maybe a couple other major caps like Link, Cardano, Polkadot. But, some of these like more obscure coins, once altcoin season comes and goes, you may never see those altcoins again. So those, obscure ones, in the top 50, unless you've done hardcore research and you really, really believe in that project, that would be the time to take profits, once you get into this territory here. But right now, you're still neutral on that. But we're going to focus on Bitcoin right now. Let's go to the weekly and we'll break it down. All right. Hit that like for me for the algos. Above all moving averages on a weekly time frame is bullish, so that is check mark 1 for the bulls. However, you do have your stochastic cross down here, and we have seen it, the RSI on the weekly top out. I've gone over this many times. 2017, you could see this the previous bull run here, maintaining above the yellow 21 EMA, oscillating from the 90 to 50 neutral zone during that bull run. So same thing, and you can see how the stochastic was oscillating above in the bullish zone. So we could see the same thing happen. The stochastic could rise back up, and you could do the same thing during this year, during this bull cycle, possibly get a bounce anytime now, or if it has to come down to this region here. But that's what we're looking for on the weekly. And as I said, above all moving averages, that's step 1. We keep repeating the Bitcoin chart, so we all know we're above moving averages. But guys, like if you were looking at just some stocks, for example, General Motors above all of its moving averages. Home Depot above all of its moving averages. Let me try and find one that's not. I typically only like to hold bullish assets in an uptrend, okay? I don't like dumpster diving too much. Let's look at maybe one of the pot stocks. Okay, the pot stocks broke out. This is Tilray above all moving averages, but you can see below this, what, below bear market. Once you broke above it and then found support above that yellow 21 EMA, you could start feeling a little more confident. And then nice break above the blue 50 simple on the weekly, and you want to see this hold above these levels. So that's when I'm like scrolling through charts. That's something I'm looking for. Walmart above yellow 21 EMA. As I said, most of these that are going to be on my list. Okay, here's one. Procter & Gamble. Needs a bounce here. You have your stochastic low. You need a bounce here. Otherwise, you're at risk of coming down here. Okay, guys? So that's what I'm looking for in general. For my chart, I look at the weekly time frame and I look to see, are you above your moving averages? And also, as far as entries, you might want to look at where the stochastics are, okay? I know you guys aren't fans of stocks, but sometimes the only way to show you a chart that looks different is to go to a different asset, because we all know, Ethereum and above all moving averages, all these cryptos are pretty much following a similar pattern, okay? So let's go down to the daily. If you look at the daily, this Stoke did cross up, okay? So it's crossing up right now. And let me throw on this. It's a new setting I have where it actually tells you exactly where it crosses up or where it crosses down. So a close below 31,473, you could get it to cross back down. So on the daily, price is at 30,632. We need to see this daily candle close above 31,477 to maintain that, cross up and hopefully trend to the upside. Otherwise, a close below that level there, you're going to have this cross back down, which would be on the daily bearish. And you can see you're putting in a downtrend on the daily RSI as well. You can chart RSI to give you a hint of what's happening. You're still putting in, so you have a low, you have a high, a lower high, lower high, lower low, lower high, and almost a lower low again. So you're definitely in a downtrend here. The RSI on daily needs to break this downtrend of lower highs and lower lows. Stochastic needs to start trending back up. Looking at your blue 50 simple on the daily, holding support. It's currently at 29,438. A daily close below could trigger something more drastic. Your 200 EMA is all the way down at 19,544. It doesn't have to happen that way, but that's just one way to kind of look at this. But if you can get a bounce and close back above 33,250, back above that 21 EMA, breaking the downtrend on the price, lower highs, lower lows as well, that would be possibly the next leg up would begin once you did that. And we are in a bit of a falling channel, I discussed before as well. Let's look at the 4-hour here, see if we can see that a little bit better. Let me draw. So, you could draw it maybe something like that. Some people are drawing a wedge or a falling channel, same difference. So, these do typically break out to the upside. That's the good news, but we don't know how long this could continue, okay? This was significant sell volume here, which is slightly concerning because in the consolidation, you're going to see drops, but you want to see the bounces to have a stronger volume than the sells. But I'm seeing the sell volume being stronger. I will say also, though, this dump on volume coincides with a dump in the stock market as well. So this was kind of across the board. We all know the GameStop thing. I'm not going to go into that today. That's like a whole nother topic, right? But if you look at the S&P 500, they had a large sell-off today. NASDAQ also had a large sell-off. So Bitcoin basically did the same thing, but has gotten a bit of a reprieve, a little bit of a bounce. And something else that we have to talk about is the dollar index. This on the left side is Bitcoin's daily chart. On the right side is the dollar index, US dollar index, DXY. And they have an inverse relationship. Not only do they have an inverse relationship, but it is spot on. You can see, do you see the line? Okay, you can see when I move my cursor on this side, you can see on this side, the cursor moves as well. So right here at the top of Bitcoin, the very top is exactly where the dollar index bottomed, okay? Not a coincidence. And then you had the drop and a bounce. What happened here? The opposite. It bounced and then dropped, okay? And we're seeing that the 50 simple on the daily holding up price, on the dollar index rejecting price. It's concerning if this dollar index starts closing above the blue 50 simple. If that happens and you even break this high here and start putting an uptrend on the dollar index, this could bring Bitcoin's price further down. Why are they inversely correlated is like a whole nother subject you could go into as well. But to keep it simple, inverse, you can see the relationship right now. So definitely watching out on this. Where are we on the dollar index? Why are we seeing this bounce? Why did Bitcoin top here? Why did the dollar index bounce where it bounced? Well, let me go over to the dollar index real quick, and I can show you. If you look at the weekly chart, let me throw on my horizontals. You can see I have an additional one for some reason. All right. You can see that this was, where did we bottom out last time? End of 2017, beginning of 2018. What happened with Bitcoin? Bear market. So when dollar index changed from a bear market to a bull market, Bitcoin went from a bull market to a bear market, inverse correlation. And you bottomed out right here around 88, and that's where we're kind of bottoming out now. You have a point of interest, a horizontal support flipped as resistance, and you're seeing that act as resistance again around 91. So if the dollar index can stay below 91 and start trending back down to 88 level, we still have room to go down here. That would see Bitcoin rising in price. But if you break above 91, Bitcoin may go down into the mid 20,000s, maybe even down to 20,000. So we're definitely watching this correlation, okay? And you don't have to understand all of the fundamentals when you have a chart, because if you ever read the book Market Wizards, and I recommend it, a lot of traders believe in the technicals stronger than they believe in the fundamentals. They say the move in price is shown in the chart before you even hear the news, okay? So I don't need to understand all of the fundamentals to see what's happening here. If this breaks higher, I don't need to know why. It is. It just is, okay? So if this comes down, good for Bitcoin. Goes up, bad for Bitcoin. All right, so levels of interest we've been watching also. We had a support here where the 4-hour wick below but closed bodies above, and then you saw actually wick and bounce there, and you can see struggled to, so you wick below, candles above, and right now it's acting as resistance. It's acting as resistance. So you can see that a little closer here. If I take off the volume, you can see that you drop below, rejected here, you wicked above, but now possibly closing back below again. This level here is at 30,740. That's a key level that we need to conquer, get back above, maybe find support above it again, and then your next level up would be 33,700. All right, again, you know, previous support, flipped as resistance. One candle above on the 4-hour. A lot of great traders that, or a lot of TA people will say you need to open and close. So not just a 4-hour close above, but an open and close. And you can see, had you followed that rule, you wouldn't had jumped in yet because the next candle closed back below. All right. So if you want to be safe, open and close for confirmation. You might miss some moves. Okay. So that's why, you know, minimum confirmation I like to see is, you know, a candle close above a certain level. And you can speculate, but you know, maybe you don't want to go full throttle. You get an open and close confirmation, you can be a bit more confident in that. And then ultimately, you got to break this this downward resistance trend line. Okay, but we have some levels to beat before we even get to that point. All right, let me close that out. Look at the moving averages on the 4-hour, below all moving averages. So we were talking about the weekly time frame was above all moving averages. However, on the 4-hour, we're below. So in the short term, this is bearish. This is bearish. It doesn't mean that we have to go super low, but until you can get above all these moving averages, like over here, you can't be short term super bullish. Short term, right? So you're going to have to get above, and you can see rejected from the pink 10 simple. Let's look at the 4-hour. 4-hour Stoke is crossed down as well, which is bearish. Do I see bull? It's hard to say because these are pretty much the same level, but your RSI is a little bit higher. You know, you have slight bullish divergence, but nothing special. Like you can see lower prices and slightly higher RSI. It's possible, but to me, being under these moving averages is concerning, and you're going to need this 4-hour to cross up. The next 4-hour candle is 1 hour and 15 minutes away, and you would need a close above 30,557 to cross back up, and we're actually right at that level, just below it, in fact. So short term, we could still see some pullback. You know, but on that daily, you know, you're still above that blue 50 simple. So we'll have to see what happens. In an hour and 15 minutes, you'll get your daily close as well. So I think I've gone through that pretty thoroughly, right? And it's been 18 minutes, a little bit longer than I wanted to. But guys, thanks for watching. I hope this was helpful for you. Leave a like, leave a comment. Don't forget to subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Rolly roll.